But I've been seeing some what is it, Battlefield leaks. I know with all the Verdansk hype, everybody's ready for Verdansk in a couple days, but I've been seeing some Battlefield leaks with some battle royale. I came across Jack Fragg's video. So right now we're gonna check this out, and it's USA maps and plus battle royale. So I want to see what he has to say.
The Battlefield leaks are getting out of control now. I'm sure that many of you have seen by now the crazy amount of leaked gameplay for the next Battlefield game. People uploading clips to YouTube, Reddit, Twitter.
I've seen some of them. I just haven't really, like, I don't know, kept my ears or anything, like just hearing about the leaks. I don't really know what he's gonna say. All I know is that they have a BR going to be coming. I don't know. I think it's going to be free to play. I think they said that, and that's like really all I know. And then I just know about that the test for people to test out the game, a little program that EA started.
Streaming it on Twitch.
So let's see what he has to say.
The initial BF Labs playtest went live. It's wild considering it's supposed to be under NDA, and there could be legal implications there for the people that did this, but alas, a ton of stuff is out there now. However, over the last few days or so, data miners who are historically accurate with their information in the Battlefield franchise have got hold of the game files, and they found a bunch of stuff in there revealing an insane amount about what's potentially in store for us. And if it's all legit and it ends up being released, then I mean, we might have a massive game on our hands here. And
well, that's the thing, Battlefield has to have a massive game. They're a big game. Why they don't have, like, I don't understand how, like, this franchise is not like on the up. It used to, like, back in the day, it never really competed with Call of Duty, but it was at least closer. Now it's way down on the bottom, and it doesn't compete with Call of Duty at all now. And, like, if they can come out with a nice BR and the multiplayer is good, like, you got to make sure that their community, the Battlefield community, is happy with their multiplayer. Because you can have a great, like, battle royale. I just don't see, you got to get the Battlefield community. They need a good Battlefield. And I just hope they can deliver
in the United States.
And it also gives competition for Call of Duty, and that helps Call of Duty actually get pushed a little bit. Obviously, Battlefield's never gonna, like, catch to COD, but
which I know
they need a little competition.
Have been asking for in Battlefield for a long time. There's been a few in the past, but not that many. Now, I don't know why all of this stuff was actually in the BF Labs game files, but apparently it was. And keep in mind that data mining is sometimes unreliable in terms of the code in the game files. It might be old, it might be experimental, could be features that DICE have worked on and dropped or don't plan to implement. It could also be interpreted incorrectly and liable to change. So just pinch of salt, please. With that said, I'm not going to show you any of the stuff that was discovered. There's a lot of images, even script for one of the single player dialogues, which is what, I don't know how they got that, but it's all out there now and it's not hard to find.
I wonder how they got it.
But I will show you things and places that this stuff references, and also the implications of that. So first things first, maps and loading screens. One of the biggest discoveries in the files was actually images of what looked to be loading screens or concept art for the maps in the new game. I've seen these myself and they all look finished. They look like legitimate art pieces made by hand. I don't see any evidence of AI generated sections in them. So I think they are real, and they fall in line with a lot of the concept art that we've had in previous Battlefield titles. The images are for what appear to be 10, maybe 11 different maps, and we'll talk about the US ones to begin with. Two of the images are clearly set in a war-torn New York. You can see soldiers fighting in the streets with destroyed buildings, and the Brooklyn Bridge is collapsed in the background at one point. We can see the Dumbo area. I'll throw up a couple of screenshots that I took on Google Maps with a rough approximation.
They are bringing destruction back, which is, like, used to be the key thing with Battlefield, but then they kind of got away with it, and I don't know. I bet it's like a server issue, and it, like, I don't know. So many players, it probably became an issue.
Of where this takes place. We can even see street names, so it's 100% New York. The other US location looks to be Hollywood or California, and we can clearly see Sunset Boulevard.
That's
in one
some cool
of the images,
places. That's
all
good.
The palm trees. And another
hopefully
one
it looks real. It's nice and colorful, vibrant. Like, Bring it to life. Like, that'd be great.
Massive golf course with tanks rolling across it and a big downtown area in the background. If I can't drive a golf cart like in Bad Company, I'm going to be very sad. And the final US image shows rib boats making their way down the LA River, packed with soldiers firing their guns, and there's even a Sunset Boulevard sign knocked over in the river, but it's visible. Potentially 2 maps then set in the United States so far, and I personally am really looking forward to this. As I mentioned, this has been a massive request from the Battlefield community.
That's good. New York and Hollywood. I'll take that.
Through famous some really sick locations in Conquest with infantry, air and vehicle gameplay, landmarks, etc. It's a tantalizing prospect. Some of these images give me OG Modern Warfare vibes too, with the Russian invasion. The other images, their locations are a bit harder to pinpoint. Some of them are definitely from the Abbasid map that we saw in the first gameplay teaser and in the playtest video leaks. In others, we can see jets flying over mountains, shooting at each other, dumping flares. F-20.
That's the thing. This game is like meant to have a BR. I don't understand how they don't have their pockets in the BR. Like, they don't have a game. Like, I don't get it. Like, I know it failed, but like, I just don't get like how they haven't like made one. I just don't get it, because it's just the way their game is. Would be great for a big map battle royale. Like, I don't get it.
2 Su-57,
hopefully they do it right though.
F-16 and Gripen. So jets are pretty much all but confirmed for the game. There's images with a couple of different attack helicopters flying, tanks, infantry fighting vehicles. One of the locations looks like the final battle in Tenet, if you've seen that movie. Some of these locations are big spaces too, and I hope that we do get some bigger maps, of course, for that BF sandbox feel. Overall, in these images, I think the vibes are on point, but remember, it's just concept art and things could change. Like I said, it looks like there's around 10 to 11 different locations here, so that could be the number of maps that we're getting at launch. Significantly more than 2042, that only launched with 7, if my memory serves me correctly. There could be a lot of variety.
They're doubling down. They have to.
Launch. Love that. Next, Portal. There were many references to Portal according to the data miners, including filters, customization, tags, free slots, maps, etc. I know that I'm being quite vague here, but there was a lot of stuff, and it would take me ages to go through all these lines, but it looks to be the next evolution of Portal if read in a certain light, which is cool to see. The potential of the original Portal was never realized in 2042. Number of reasons for that. That's because of the way it was designed, the way it was implemented, the way it was surfaced, etc. And I can only hope that we get an actual server browser in this game that is visible.
I know it was called Firestorm, and I'm hearing that they might be calling it Firestorm like again, but I don't know if that's just code. Like, I would think they should change it. I don't know. Kind of like how, like, Warzone, you know what I mean? They had Blackout, then they changed it to Warzone. I don't know if they came up with Firestorm, people will already be turned off, you know what I mean? So I don't know if they should change the name.
And accessible from the main menu, and it includes official servers as well as the ability to host permanent servers.
Really, if it's good gameplay and the game is good and people play it and like the game, it doesn't matter what it's called. Really, at the end of the day, as long as it's good gameplay, the game's finished, polished, we're good.
And build communities. It was almost perfect in Battlefield 4. DICE strayed away from that though in BF5 and 2042. And we've talked about
Battlefield's
this
a big enough name.
So I'm not going to dwell on it today.
It's a good game. People play it.
This is a really big deal.
And
what historically sets Battlefield apart from other contemporary games that don't offer as much choice for where players want to play. It's a big factor. Next, test range. References were found for a test range in the game.
That's good.
We had this in BF4.
How about COD has the shittiest test range? It's like 2 dummies going around. You can't even move. There's nothing. It's like, what are we doing? Like, COD is ugh.
It was a fun environment where you could spawn vehicles, guns, you could test
Come on, Battlefield, make a good game.
BF1 didn't have it.
Very
BF5
Call
did
of Duty.
have something similar. Some nice options in there, and we got nothing in 2042. Although you can play against bots, so maybe that's kind of a similar thing, but same but different. Test range, that's sweet. Fingers crossed, it's in the game. All of the weapons in the game pass have now been uncovered too.
I played Firestorm for, I don't know, like a couple games. I think I made through like 3 games, and I'm like, this game is crap, and I never played it again.
Some bangers in there like the AEK, the G3, the L85A3, the Vector.
That's the same reason with Blackout. Blackout was part of BO4, and it wasn't crossplay. And Firestorm was pay, you know what I mean? You had to buy the game. If you're not free to play, you're not going to make it.
The MRAD sniper, in total, 41
that even goes for back then when they were starting to get the BRs, because that's Fortnite started that trend, and obviously right now, today, you got to be free to play, crossplay, fully crossplay.
Primary weapons
None of this
were found,
half-ass
and
crossplay.
6 secondaries. If that's the number of
Get
guns
out.
at launch, amazing. This dwarfs the number of gun options that we had in 2042 when that released. And related to the weapons too, references to 25, yes, 25 different attachment slots for guns were discovered. That's insane. It doesn't mean that
25?
you'll have 25 options on every single gun, but it looks like a lot. We might actually
Imagine you going through all the attachments, you got 25 slots, and you're like, I gotta go through this list. You gotta figure out which ones. What the hell? I don't know about that one. That must be, I don't know.
be getting some serious Modern Warfare 19 level of gun customization here. Love that. I've seen an image with,
I mean, I'll
various
take it. I
different
don't
helmet
care. I just think that's
customizations on it.
crazy.
There's like 25 in total. These could be options for players to change. You know how in BF5 you could change individual components of your soldier? Might be something like that. But another theory is that they are for different factions in the game, meaning that we might get multiple armies, and these will change depending on which map or location that you're playing in. I'm happy to report too that none of these helmets look like weird COD cosmetics. They all looked grounded and based on
Oh man, I'm not gonna get a bunny. I'm not gonna get my cat. I'm not gonna get my cat suit. I'm not gonna have my farting unicorn. I don't know, man. This game might be chalked.
military uniform, and I hope that DICE and Battlefield don't start putting weird, goofy skins in the game like COD have done, because
Yeah,
that
I'm
game has
not
just
buying it.
completely lost its identity now.
Not playing
Next, Battle Royale. So when
I want my kitty
2042
cat,
launched
bro.
and it was a disaster, DICE and EA announced in December 2021 a big shake-up for their internal teams. New management, new positions. Vince Zampella took over as the overall boss of the Battlefield franchise. This was a whole big thing where they made announcements, and an article went out on GameSpot. In that article, they talked about what's coming next. DICE would work on multiplayer. Seattle-based studio Ridgeline Games, which has since been shuttered, were to work on a narrative experience.
Yep, they're doing the Call of Duty thing where they're separating these studios, so they're kind of doing the exact thing that Call of Duty does and separates and puts certain studios in charge of different, parts of the game. So we'll see. Hopefully that works out for them, because I know with COD, some of these studios are bumping heads, and that's why you keep getting these integrations, and they keep taking things away because some studios want this and that. That's what you're hearing.
Single player. And Ripple Effect, previously DICE LA, was said to be working on a new experience for Battlefield. Many people assumed that this would be some kind of battle royale. Firestorm in BF5 was DICE's first attempt at a battle royale. They built it with Criterion. I had a lot of fun with it, but
you didn't have fun with it.
Massive barrier to entry when all the other BRs at the time were free, and it basically had no updates. There was no live service for it. It was destined to fail, sadly. However, data mining in the BF Labs files has revealed that a Battlefield Royale is almost a certainty, and it's in the works. This is a message shared with permission from Temporal, one of the data miners to Achilles76 on Reddit. Here is a list of BR features which are referenced: solo, duo, trio, squad, insertion via MH47 Chinook, parachute/cut parachute, armor, hard, soft, free-to-play
the parachutes, cut parachutes, loot rarity, upgrade kits, upgrade weapon upgrades, shrinking circle, probably fire. Okay, so that's why they're thinking that it's Firestorm. Second chance respawn. So they're going to have like some sort of buyback type of thing, probably. Or they could have like a resurgence mode, which honestly, do it. So missions, there's missions in the BR? That's like maybe contracts? Solo, duo, trio, squads, that's good. That's a plus. You got to have all of them. I mean, everything there looks pretty good to me.
Component, missions, call-ins,
looks like what I want.
Upgrade kits, weapon upgrades, shrinking circle, probably fire, second chance, and respawn. Now, if you followed my channel for a while, you'll probably know how I feel about this. I love the Battle Royale genre.
Yep.
I've played so many of those games now.
Big BR guy right here.
Battlefield
Me
BR
love lots of players.
On the Frostbite
Big scale,
engine,
baby.
Destruction, sick graphics, Battlefield gunplay and movement, transport vehicles, keeping it simple,
Bring it
and
to
an
me,
actual
Jack.
pure Battle Royale experience.
Tell me more.
That is a very appealing thought to me, and I think if it was free to play and it was supported with a good live service, it would be a massive hit. However, I would like it to be separate to the main multiplayer and not interfere with that in any way. Yeah, have cross progression, the same guns, etc., but it would need to be its own standalone thing that didn't take resources away from core multiplayer. But it looks like it's real and it's on the way. And related to this, Temporial also shared a summary of a potential new game mode coming that might also be free to play. Again, this was a message that was shared on Reddit. It's an elimination mode for smaller teams, solo, duo, trio, and squad, featuring various mission types: circuit, contract, decryption, extraction, heist, rodeo, standoff, vendetta, wreckage. So you are doing an extraction mission and then a round of capture the flag. After that, maybe killing a high value target.
Maybe an extraction mode might be coming out. That's probably what it is. Mission type, circuit, contracts, decryption, extraction, heist, rodeo, standoff, vendetta, wreckage. That's a lot going on right there. Sounds interesting.
After each mission,
Yo,
only
big
a certain
W's
number
to
of teams
Sneaky.
advance
Thank
to
you
the
so
next.
much.
Not sure about the exact
Legend.
procedure or numbers. The map appears to be the same as the Battle Royale, with points of interest like Crash Site, judging by the assets, most likely a crashed C-17, Downtown, Main Street, Marina, Military Base including R&D, and Storage, and a Tech Center, probably also involved.
So they're going to have a Main Street, a Downtown. They're going to have a military base, which is good. Like that's one thing about like a BR map. You have to have POIs, like, and have to have them be like rememberable. Like you can't just, I don't know, like if you play Kyrgyzstan, like right now on Call of Duty Warzone, it's so trash. It's just little buildings over here, and there's nothing that's like you want to play in. It's just you seem like you're in the same spot. I don't know. And then in between POIs, there's just no fighting. I don't know. You have to make sure you have set spots, you know what I mean? And have like mountains in between with trees, and like that's why Verdansk was so good. It kind of had that vibe. But we'll see.
Involving some kind of free-to-play approach. That
Gotta
kind
be
of
free to
sounds
play.
like Battlefield meets the
Get it
finals
out.
meets Mario Party. Again, I'm cool with this if it's a separate part of the game. VR and this other new game mode could be a
You telling me Jack Frags raps? I've never heard Jack. I watch his live streams, watch a lot of his videos. He raps?
great way to get people
Jack, you
playing for
rap?
free in the Battlefield ecosystem, and then maybe they decide to buy the game and try multiplayer too. It would be a good point of entry for
Hell
people
yeah.
who play a lot of BR games, but not necessarily
I'll
lots
battle
of
'em.
Battlefield and Conquest and Breakthrough. And that's about all we've got so far. Now, if you put all of this together, again, pinch of salt, please. Single player, probably like 4 to 5 hours. Cinematic FPS gameplay. Multiplayer, that's the core of Battlefield. 10 to 11 maps at launch with a continuing live service that adds new maps, guns, vehicles, game modes. Portal, a big evolution of what we've had before, hopefully. And then you've got a modern Battlefield Battle Royale on the side. You've got this new final style game mode, both potentially free to play with a live service. All of that together, that sounds like
Yeah.
a big package. And it's good in the sense that this could be a huge meal that we can dive into and take some time over, but potentially bad because you hope that all of the teams working on this can deliver a quality experience across the board.
Yeah.
It's all fun.
Gotta make sure it's
and
streamlined
they
and it
actually have
works.
enough time to finish it before launch and release it without a ton of bugs and quality issues like we've seen before. Lots of question marks here. I just really hope that there aren't too many cooks in the kitchen and we don't end up with
Same thing, like I said, like with Call of Duty. Had too many studios, and that's why we have integrations that are crap, and then features get taken away because this is their vision on this studio and this, you know, and then they're changing engines, and it's just a mess. So they could run into this, and just hopefully they don't. Especially on this game right here, where people are so excited for Battlefield, really are.
a ton of
Let's finish
fluff
this
or
up.
filler for the sake of making it look like a bigger package. There's that phrase, a game for everyone is a game for no one. Battlefield has really got to focus on doing what it does best. And with that said, that's all for today, folks. Let me know your thoughts below. How are we feeling about all this? If you enjoyed the video, drop me a like. Thank you. That's much appreciated.
Like 11
Really
years
thankful
ago,
for
he
your
did a
viewership
rap.
and
Got
support.
it,
If you
got
didn't
it.
like it, dislike it. Subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I want there to be a good BR for Battlefield. I want another BR. I want something kind of close to Call of Duty, but not Call of Duty. And really, honestly, Battlefield's kind of the only one that could really deliver that at a high level, you know? I mean, obviously there could be some other studio cooking up something, but I mean, really, when it comes to like a Call of Duty arcade BR, besides Call of Duty, where do I get that? I don't go play PUBG. That's slower. Apex, that's Apex. That's different. It's kind of no. You know what I mean? It's Battlefield. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's Jack Frags. I am gonna put his description, his links into my description of this video. Go check him out. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for some new BRs for dance in a couple days. Let's go.